If you don't like hanging out with your friends on the toilets, then maybe Berghain isn't something for you. So Berghain has quite a reputation by now, and if you ever thought about going there, but you are unsure, let me help you out with cosplaying Sven and give you 3 things to think about before you queue up for Berghain. So there is the possibility, of course, of being rejected. So by now it's pretty well known already that you could be rejected at the door by one of the famous bouncers. And let me give you a little bit of insight about how the door policy works. The door policy is racist and you need to talk German. I read this a lot either on Google or on one of the review sites. This is actually one of my favorite things to read because it's just fake news. You get in based on your vibes, and the bouncers want to make sure that everyone fits in Berghain. So they might actually do you a favor. But before you get on your horse now and be all mad at me and start to feel sad, you can also be randomly rejected. Sometimes it doesn't make much sense, but hey, that's life. You have to wear black to get inside. Also, this one is one of the main reasons that is going around. No, you don't have to wear all black to get inside. The door policy is based on other factors than what you wear. Of course, don't go all sensation white. But besides that, don't worry about your outfit too much. Of course, think a little bit in what you're gonna wear once you go there, as you maybe want to go to my Instagram and see what kind of harness I wear. But besides that, of course, you don't have to have a harness, but at least think a little bit what you're gonna wear. So there will always be the chance that you might be rejected, and depending on the day, it could be that you have to wait in line for even up to 2 to 4 hours if you are unlucky. But even with this waiting, it could still be that you will get a heute leider nicht. So take this into consideration if you aren't up to make the sacrifice. If that's the case, then you might want to go to a different club to where the door policy is different. Don't be bothered if you get a no. People that have been going there every weekend for years already are still able to get rejected at the door. You only drink alcohol and think people on drugs are bad. So at Berghain and in the techno scene itself, it's pretty known that everyone accepts each other. Mind me, that doesn't mean that you have to be friends with everyone, but at least let people be. But this also goes for the fact that you will have to accept that people use drugs. This doesn't make people instantly junkies. Heck, alcohol is one of the worst drugs, at least in my opinion. And I personally don't like it and I don't drink. And yes, alcohol is still a drug, of course. But if for you that is something unacceptable, then Berghain and other Berlin clubs might not be the places that you probably want to go to. Maybe there is something in the west of Berlin that fits better for what you like. You do not like darkness or some explicit things. Berghain is and can be a dark place, and although I love it, I also have friends that rather have color around them and they rather go to Sisyphus, for example. And yes, you have Panorama Bar, which is still colorful, but yeah, it's still Berghain. You also still have places to chill around, and it is not only the dance floor, of course, but it might be that, for example, as I mentioned already earlier, that Sisyphus is more fitting for you, where color is the standard. You can also dress up here more colorful, like don't dress up for Berghain when you go to Sisyphus and the other way around. I am not ever gonna spill the tea on what happens in Berghain. What happens in Berghain stays in Berghain, and this is pretty common when Berghainers also go to work. You don't talk about shit. But yes, there are some explicit things that you might see. I mean, there is a dark room. That is not something that's a secret anymore. Again, if this whole setup is not something for you, or you don't feel comfortable in such places where things might happen around you, not with you, but around you, you know? Then save yourself the time and go look for a more family safe club. So yeah, this was hopefully me helping you out a little bit if Berghain might be for you, yes or no. And I know some people will have the opinion that every club should accept everyone and it should be available for everyone, but I simply just don't agree with that. It creates a whole different atmosphere if they do this, and it has its benefits that it works like this once you are inside. This club is different than any other club that I know, and you can do things here that are unacceptable in other clubs. But that is what makes this place so special and why the door policy is set up like that. I hope this helps you out a little bit in deciding if you should queue up for Berghain, yes or no. And if you do decide to queue up, then know that there is still the possibility, of course, that you will be rejected. Don't take it personal, don't be bothered, don't think it's about who you are as a person or how you look like. Sometimes you just don't get in. So yeah, my little video about what you should think about before you even queue up for Berghain. I hope you liked the video. And then there is nothing else from my side to say than big hug, much love, and then I see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.